The 875th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com and use promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy ho, degenerinos. Welcome to episode 875 of the MMA Gambling Podcast of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Blackheart Margot, who says we are the best place on the internet for Ryzen coverage. Very true. So check out our Ryzen episode if you're not already, not just Ryzen, Super Ryzen 4. I am one of your hosts of this year episode, not a Ryzen episode. I am Jeff, Two Entrees Fox, new name, new me. We got some UFC today to cover. The gentleman that you heard laugh would be Dan Gumby Vreeland, the man who makes us the best place for Ryzen and Super Ryzen coverage. And we're going to Abu Dhabi. Not really, but we're covering the event in Abu Dhabi. Quite an interesting card. A lot of interesting lines and a lot of fights I don't have a winner for yet as of this recording, Gumby.
Yeah, I'll be right there with you. I mean, I have picked a winner with all of these, but like I hemmed and hawed on more fights than I'm ever really done before. And I'm not quite sure why in some of them. Some of them, like, I mean, I guess what the biggest problem is that, like, there just isn't a really great read on some of these fighters recently. Yep. You know, like, I mean, even let's just take the main event, which I know we're not breaking down right now. But, like, are you going to fault Robert Whittaker for his loss to Khamzat, which in retrospect, you know, maybe one fight from now, Khamzat's the champ and it doesn't look that bad? Or are you going to promote him for his win over Ikram Aliskerov, which we're still not sure if that dude's good? And then you could say the same thing about Rene DeRieder, right? Like, he beat Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel hadn't lost yet, but he had also only fought Cody Brundage. So, like, is that a good win for Rene DeRieder? Who knows? And then, like, sometimes in 1FC, Rene DeRieder looked like he couldn't strike. So, like, there's these, like, weird, not good reads on recent fighters. You know, like, he submitted Kevin Holland. We gonna put a feather in his cap for that one? Probably not. Yeah. So yeah, there's just like not a lot of good reads on some of these fighters recently, and even the ones who are at like the very tops of their division. You know, we're gonna talk about Bryce Mitchell, who's, you know, weird reads on that guy recently. You know, we're gonna talk about Shara Bullet, you know, weird reads on that guy recently. Like, yeah, it's just it's a fight card that's got guys who kind of got over their skis at points, or, you know, fought way below their level too much. And now as a result, they're hard to read. Yeah.
And there's some guys we have not seen enough, at least on the UFC level, to really know if they can hang at this level. Yeah. There's a lot of, as Gumby said, a lot of question marks. And then there's a lot of like, wait a minute, do I really want to pay minus 400 for this guy who hasn't really shown us anything yet? There's a lot of fights like that too. So it could be it's going to be interesting. Nonetheless, a lot of interesting fights for sure. Even outside of the gambling aspect of it. Before we dive into it, I should remind everyone the one, all the Jeff Fox stands, all the Two Entrees fans out there. The nightmare is over. It only lasted a week. Gumby was ahead of me for a week on UFC picks. It is over now. I'm more than double ahead of you again, Gumby. So nature has healed. Nature is healing, at least.
I like how you say double as if it was like a huge amount, though. What is it, like a couple $100?
Yeah, I'm down, which is not good. We're both down now. We were both up as of
now. Again to fans, I threw up the bumper. I thought you were doing an ad read there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, so the fans know, if you're new to this too, that's like blindly betting $100 on every money line. That is not recommended plays. That's not like we're doing well on those still.
But that's what we do.
But that's what we do. Right? Like, that's our shtick.
Oh, you don't? I've been doing
it. That's our shtick. And so like we're pretty close to breaking even, both of us. And this will probably be the event to throw us both over anyway. So
we shall see. We shall see. All right, before we dive into it, Sports Gambling Podcast is back with their 32 NFL team previews. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 circa future. Boom. That's exciting. All right, let's go check out this here event here. Of course, we were talking about UFC Fight Night. Whittaker versus DeRieder. Abu Dhabi United Arab Emirates this Saturday, noon Eastern start time. Prelims, which is what we're talking about today, are on ESPN, and that is the noon Eastern start time. We got 7 prelim fights we're going to break down. This is going down in the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. It's not Abu Dhabi season anymore, though. Apparently, I don't think they do that anymore. So
it wasn't ever Abu Dhabi season. Are you
no,
thinking
what was
Riyadh season?
Oh, Riyadh season. I'm getting my my Middle Eastern countries mixed up. You're correct. It's always Abu Dhabi season. All right. First fight. We're starting with heavyweights. I mean, these guys.
I think their shtick is visit Abu Dhabi.
Yes,
I think it's
is.
that one. Yeah.
Wow, so catchy. Eh? How much did they pay someone to come up with that? Heavyweights kicking things off. How weird is this, Gumby? That never happens. One of those Martin Buday. Is that why? Perhaps Martin Buday, Slovak Republic. He's fighting a guy named Marcus Buchecha. It's not his real name. He's from Brazil, so you know how they always have made up names. His real name is, I think it's long, right? His real name is.
I think the last name's Almeida.
Yeah, and it's probably got a duh in the middle of it. Why? It's Tapology. Tapology's betraying me here. All right, his real name is Marcus Vinicius Oliveira de Alameda. I'll tell you why it's Buchecha in a moment. We're going to tell you about baddies first. Baddies Buday. Buchecha, I said he's from Brazil. So Brazil versus Slovak Republic. All right, baddies 15-2, 6 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. Durable, very durable for heavyweight. 6-1 in the UFC. That's sneaky, right? But when you actually dive into it deeper,
it's not that impressive.
No, but wow, 6-1 in the UFC at heavyweight. He's won 2 straight and 14 of 11. That would be an interesting trick. 14-15. 1-0 contender series. He was the former Octagon champion, 2015 Pro MMA debut. Based on the last weigh-ins, he's 11 pounds heavier than Buchecha. He's a year younger. He's an inch taller, and he's at plus 258. Buchecha means cheek because he had big chubby cheeks as a baby. He is 5-1, 1 knockout, 4 submissions. He's finished everyone. He's never been finished himself. Still, he owes us some rounds. This is his UFC debut. He won his last fight via submission. He went 5-1 and won the championship, the biggest promotion in the world. He's a multi-time BJJ world champion, and that's even saying that is an understatement. He's got
2-time Abu Dhabi champ, if I'm not mistaken. And then I want to say 10-time world champion IBJJF in both gi and no gi.
Yep, that sounds right. 3 inches reach over Buday, minus 275. So for people who have not seen him in MMA at the very least, so you can talk BJJ too if you want. Let us know about Buchecha.
I mean, really great top control. I think maybe if there is an area of weakness in his grappling, it's that the wrestling still has a little ways to come, which is why his lone loss came to Rug. Omar Kane, if you're not familiar with, is the one heavyweight champion right now and pretty much just maintained that he could fight on the feet here. And so you're going to see a lot of top control. He's heavy on top, which lends itself well to arm triangles and stuff like that. But also his control is so good that you could definitely see him take the back and stay agile on top. And that's, you don't become a 2-time Abu Dhabi world champ without, being able to do both of those things, right? Without being able to be the hammer that's heavy on top and also float around on guys like that. So, Buchecha, I mean, he's the real deal on the mat. Obviously, he doesn't have a ton of MMA experience, but I'm still picking him here against Martin Buday. If you look at Martin Buday's record in the UFC, like you said, he's 6-1. Who's the best win?
Oh,
it might be Andrei Arlovsky. I'm not, I'm an Arlovsky stan, right? I love Andrei Arlovsky, but his best win might be a unanimous decision over Andrei Arlovsky. And maybe that's not the best thing in the world when you're, 7 fights into your UFC career. And he looked absolutely terrible in there against Gaziev. He's never really fought anybody who could take him down. If you go into that list and you're like, who has he fought who's a good wrestler? You'd be like, okay, Gaziev, probably not a good wrestler, but a right wrestler. Never tried, just knocked him out.
Yep.
And then it's Jake Collier,
Josh Parisian.
Josh Parisian might be the best wrestler.
Yeah.
So yes, his grappling stats look good, but now he's going to be in there with one of the greatest grapplers of all time in terms of that weight. Buchecha, he's just going to need him down one time, I think. I think he subs him once he gets him there. Give me Marcus Buchecha.
Yeah, this is who Martin Buday has tore through in the UFC. Chris Barnett, who we love, but it didn't work out for him in the UFC. Lucas Brzeski, Jake Collier, Josh Parisian lost to Gaziev, beat Arlovsky via split decision.
Oh, that was a split.
Yeah. And then he beat the Urine guy, Salty Baldy.
Oh, yeah, and Salty Baldiev's a good win, but Salty Baldiev is definitely a light heavyweight, not a heavyweight. He took that on short notice, and he's going right back to 205.
Yep. Yeah. So I'll take Buchecha as well. Buday is decent level. Like he's the best of the lower tier of the UFC heavyweight division. So a good entry point for Buchecha. And if you can't hang with him, then he's gonna have trouble in the UFC. That means. All right, off to the next fight. It is at 145. Mohammad Yahya. I think he is from UAE. Is he not? Yes, because he's the UAE warrior. That's what tipped me off. So home court advantage for him. Stephen Nguyen from the United States. Stephen Nguyen. I did it again. Stephen Nguyen
every time.
Of America. It's become a thing now. It's kind of a shtick, but that time it was not. Yahya is the UAE warrior, as I said. He should fight Ronnie Yahya. That would be a fun fight, right? Yahya versus Yahya.
I mean, it wouldn't actually be. He'd probably just get tossed at that by Ronnie Yahya, even at this age.
Yeah, UAE warrior is 12-5, 7 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted twice. 0-2 in the UFC. He's lost 2 straight. Before that, he won 5 straight. TKO loss in his last bout. He's not won since February 2023. However, he has multiple regional championships on his.
Mantle.
Right. Get the shirt, get the merch, get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. That's I've come up with that catchphrase. Get all the good stuff. It just naturally came out. That should be our new tag for the store. 1-1 in Bellator, RIP. Bellator used to fight at 155, 2014 pro MMA debut. A year younger than Nguyen. There you go, Gumby. You say Cormier, I say Nguyen. Better grappling stats than Nguyen. He's been outstruck in the UFC by 2.58 strikes per minute. That'll get you a couple losses, plus 290. The ninja, and he has been a ninja because Nguyen has been out of action since March 2024. Do you know why? Was he injured? Was he?
I don't. I think there was at least one canceled fight in there, but I'm not 100% sure what's kept him out.
Because he's a ninja. You can't ask ninjas where they've been. He's 9-2, 4 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 0-1 in the UFC. 3-2 over his last 5. He did lose the last bout, as I mentioned. That was back in March 2024. He went 2-1 on the Contender Series. That is very rare to see someone get 3 cracks at it and get 2 wins out of it. Regional champ, used to fight at 155, 2 inches taller than Yahya, 3 times more active landing strikes. He's been outstruck, and I guess we got 4 fights. It's not really a small sample for him because he fought so much in Contender Series. Minus 0.21. He's at minus 330. Is Nguyen good, Gumby? That's the question. It's been so long since we've seen him. I know he's got 1 touch knockout power, but that doesn't mean that he's good or not. I'm gonna roll the dice. Give me the home court advantage. Give me Yahya at the high line. He's gonna be a better grappler here, and he hasn't been sitting on the shelf for over a year. So why the hell not? I think this fight's closer than what the odds are stating. So give me Yahya.
I think they're going to be closer than it's stated too, but he's not a better grappler than anybody. He's atrocious on the mat. Like
he's from the Middle East, so
he doesn't grapple at all. He's just strictly a kickboxer. Like he's really truly bad on the mat. Like Trevor Peake was a way better grappler than he was in their fight. Like I mean, like I've never seen him shoot a takedown. I've never seen any jiu-jitsu from him. Like he's likes a spinny kickbox kind of fight here too. And actually that's one of the reasons why, I am going to take Stephen Nguyen, but it's one of the reasons why I debated Mohammad Yahya in this fight is because, if you watch Nguyen's lone loss on Contender Series, it was to Alon Cruz, and Alon Cruz, lanky, threw the jump knee, kind of caught him off guard when he was like winning that fight. And Yahya does a lot of that similar stuff. He does a lot of spins, does a lot of jumps, a lot of funky stuff in there. And I'd worry about that if I was Nguyen, because I'm not sure Nguyen's chin holds up to that.
Nguyen's chin, there's a good title.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
And Nguyen just he walks people down, right? Like that's his style. He gets in your face and can eat a punch here or there. So if you're looking for a Yahya, if you're looking for him to win this fight, you might want to just play the knockout prop because he's like I said, he's not going to want to be on the ground. And most likely he's not going to outpace anybody. Because if you watch Nguyen, he pushes forward, he pushes the pace, and that's really bothered Yahya in the past. When Trevor Peake did it to him, he looked panicked most of that fight with Peake getting in his face over and over again. And he got caught being pushed backwards against Kawhi Fernandez, which, and granted that's kind of aged well, but, we've seen Nguyen push forward, push against guys, both when he won on Contender Series and, his fight with Jarno Aarons was kind of like that too. I think in this fight, I like him enough because his punches are straight. The output's going to be higher. As long as he doesn't get knocked out, I think the volume's going to be better, which we couldn't say about the Aarons fight, right? Aarons throws a lot of volume. So he's going to be the more volume-filled fighter. I think if he does shoot a takedown in here, he might surprise Yahya because his wrestling is so bad, and we've seen some errors with it in the past. So like I could see Nguyen wrestling here. He's only attempted 1 takedown in those 4 fights, and he hit it. His takedown defense is exceptional. So like I'm gonna go with Stephen Nguyen, but there's no way I'm touching a line anywhere near what it's at right now.
Yahya's attempted. No, he's attempted 3 times the takedowns that Nguyen has attempted. So there you go. He's a better grappler.
Has he hit any of them?
Yes, he's 100% accuracy. Come on, man. I know what I'm talking about. He's not a
grappler. He's terrible.
All right. Before we dive into more picks, I'm going to tell you how you can win millions and millions of dollars. Circa Million and Circa Survivor. The world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, is hosting the world's biggest pro football contests. Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true gen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. Come hang out with SGPN at the Circa contest weekend, August 21st, 23rd, for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off your stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. The contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And Underdog at Best Ball Media is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million. The first place, no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog also is a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. And Gumby's going to give you a winning play right now.
For Underdog Fantasies, Pick'em, let's say,
you don't have one ready for a change.
No, we changed when this ad was in the read.
Oh, okay.
I may have had to just go change the advertisement when I edit this because I may have stuck up a different advertisement first. Let's go with Michael Harris II. We'll take his higher than on his total bases on. Well, I guess they're going to be playing on Tuesday, and I'll take the higher than on his total bases largely because I think his change in his swing after the All-Star break seems to be working, so we'll go with that.
You said Tuesday. Are they really playing Thursday, you mean?
Or Thursday. Or they got Thursday. They got Thursday off, and then they're playing Friday. Man,
okay.
You caught me real off guard with changing.
I got you flustered
these ads, man.
Well, you called me on my Yahya breakdown, so now.
By the way, he's got 1 career takedown. I don't know how he's got 3 times more than Nguyen.
Oh no,
he's got 1 takedown and 1 attempt in 12 seconds of control time.
He averages 0.76 takedowns per 15 . That's why.
Yeah, because he just got knocked out faster.
Nguyen's got 0.28. All right, back to the Underdog. Sign up with our code MMASGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN. And if I have to remember, I will make an Underdog video for UFC this week. And
take the higher than on Mohammad Yahya's takedowns.
Yeah, I will. just to stick it to you. We're going to
one takedown 3 times as much. He tells me
3 times as much. Big boys. Not bigger fighters, not the biggest of the big boys. 205. Ibo Aslan, he's pretty big though. He's from Turkey. Billy Elekana, he is from the United States, and they're fighting at 205, as I said. Elekana is 7-2, 3 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been submitted once. 0-1 in the UFC. He's won 3 of 5. His last 5. He got submitted in his last bout. 2-0 in PFL. He's fed at 185. Better grappling stats than Aslan. He's been outstruck in the UFC by 3.16 strikes per minute, but that was based off of 1 fight. He's at plus 239. The last Ottoman, Aslan, 14-2 with 14 knockouts. He's been submitted twice, so you know where he wants the fight to be. He owes his rounds as well. 2-1 in the UFC, 6-1 over his last 7, got submitted in his last bout. 1-0 contender series. Used to fight up at heavyweight, multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch, get our shirts, get all the gear, get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. He's got better striking stats. He's 3 times more active line strikes than Elekana based off small sample. He has outstruck his opponents in the UFC and the contender series by 3.41 strikes per minute. So that's a very good number. Minus 250. Striker grappler. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Billy Elekana. And not just from a striker grappler perspective, but Ibo Aslan has had a lot of issues with his grappling, including one of those losses coming to the pleasure man, Anton Tricali, which is not a loss that aged well at all. And I know he got that one back afterwards, but like, Ibo Aslan has not looked particularly good in the grappling. And then in addition to that too, like he swings so big on all of his strikes.
He does.
And if you watch Billy Elekana, you can go back and watch his debut fight, which he took against Bogdan Guskov on like, I think it was like 2 days notice. He took that fight. First of all, he's really elusive on the feet because he is so long, and Ibo Aslan's not used to somebody who can match his length either. Because Elekana fights so long, he like jabs and gets out of the way really well. He's really elusive on the feet and good at avoiding those big strikes. And then against Guskov, he scored that takedown early. He took Guskov's back. He rode that out until the very end of the round. Granted, he didn't get the submission, but he did. And then he was just gassed in the second round. Like it was real obvious that the like short notice piece of it all, tired him out. He got hit by one thing from Guskov and he just backed up and just at one point in time, he like sat down and like, again, he's such a big guy for like heavyweight that like, it makes sense that he gassed out so fast on a short notice fight. It probably killed himself to make weight. Now that he's able to do that with a little bit more time, we've seen that he's kind of got the skills to punish Aslan where Aslan's not well and to make him miss too, which I think is another big piece of this. So I'm going to go with Elekana. I think he, tires out Ibo Aslan and works for the sub.
I'll take the big striker as expected. I guess I'm like Dana White. I'll take a big sloppy striker in this fight. I think he's going to be too much on the feet, but Gumby has very good points. He is sloppy and he's got very poor, or at least he has issues, we'll say, with takedowns, which are concerning. The line should be closer than what it is for sure. We're going way down now. Women's strawweights now. Amanda Ribas from Brazil. Tabatha Ricci from Brazil as well. A couple of our favorites going at it. I'll tell you about Baby Shark Ricci first. 11-3, 1 knockout, 3 submissions. She's been knocked out once. 6-3 in the UFC. She's won 2 of 3 and 6 of 8. As used to fight at 125, 2013 pro MMA debut. 2 years younger than Ribas. She's been outstruck in the UFC by 1.11 strikes per minute. She's at plus 166. Ribas is 13-6, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. She's been knocked out 3 times, submitted once. 7-5 in the UFC. She has lost 2 straight and gone 2-3 over her last 5, 3-5 over her last 8. Submission loss in her last bout. Used to fight at 125. Multiple region championships on her.
Mantle.
Correct. Get her merch. Get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. 2014 pro MMA debut. 2 inches height, 5 inches reach over Ricci. Better striking stats, more active landing strikes, and better grappling stats as well. As she's outstruck her opponents by 1.05 strikes per minute, minus 181. So this line's gotten a little wider since I broke it down a couple of days ago. Gumby.
No, this one's you first.
Oh, me. Give me Ribas. She's better at strawweight. We prefer her at strawweight, assuming that she's not killing herself to make strawweight. And assuming she's not fighting Rose Namajunas. No. Was Rose her last fight? No, she fought
2 fights ago. She fought
Mackenzie Durham. I think she's gonna be too much in the feet for Ricci, and she's also a solid grappler. Not on Ricci's level of grappling probably, but she's also a very good grappler as well. I think she's going to be more powerful and physical in this fight, and most of it comes up to the feet and her ability to land with more power and absorb damage. Not that Ricci's really going to damage her on the feet. So give me Ribas.
Yeah, this one's an interesting one for me because it's another one where I'm like, where does Ricci fall in terms of her like improving striking, right? Because it looked bad against Yan Xiaonan, but Yan Xiaonan's like elusive as hell and like, top 3 or 4 in the division and even higher than that if you probably just talk about technical striking. And then on the other side of things, like she matched Angela Hill strike for strike on the feet. And like, Angela Hill is probably a step or 2 behind Amanda Ribas, but like that's sort of where we're at, right? Is that this like weird level? I'm also going to throw a stat at you here. Tabatha Ricci has fought 9 times in the UFC. In fights where she has scored at least 1 takedown, she's 6-1. And in fights where she hasn't scored a takedown, she's 0-2. So like, it really depends on if she can get her wrestling started, right? And it doesn't even need to be particularly effective, but effective enough to possibly steal a round here or there and effective enough to scare off her opponent into, maybe throwing less strikes or being a little bit more wary on the ground. And I think she can do that here against Ribas. So I'm going to take Tabatha Ricci. If you look at Amanda Ribas's last 3 fights, she's given up takedowns in every single one of them. That includes takedowns to Rose Namajunas, who's not wrestling a ton these days. That includes takedowns to Luana Pinheiro, who's like, maybe not a wrestler on the level of Tabatha Ricci. If those women are getting her down at this stage in her career, I kind of think Tabatha can as well. And if not, she can at least put the fear of that takedown into Ribas enough to get those striking numbers up to where they were against, Angela Hill. Against Angela Hill, she landed over 100 significant strikes. That's like, to be able to go toe to toe with her shows that like she's got that at least, and it seems to be improving, even if it maybe didn't look so good against Yan Xiaonan. So I'm gonna roll the dice here with Tabatha. I think the wrestling game gets going enough.
All right, very good, good fight though. Looking forward to seeing this one. And it's interesting. We are disagreeing again, so maybe Gumby will catch up this week. We'll see. Damon Blackshear, he is from the United States. He's fighting at bantamweight against Davey Grant from the United Kingdom. I'll tell you about Grant first. He's dangerous, Davey Grant. 16-7, 4 knockouts, 9 submissions. He's been submitted 4 times. 7-6 in the UFC. He's won 3 of 4 and 3 of 6. He did win his last bout though. He went 2-0 in the Ultimate Fighter. He's a regional champ. 2008 Pro MMA debut. Better striking stats and more active landing strikes than Blackshear. And he's outstruck his opponents by 1.36 strikes per minute. He's at plus 280. The monster, Damon Blackshear, 17-7-1, 2 knockouts, 11 submissions. He's been knocked out once. Durable guy. 5-3-1 in the UFC. He's won 3 straight in 5 of 7. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch. Get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. 2014 Pro MMA debut. 2 inches height, 5 inches of reach over Blackshear. Better striking stats, more active landing strikes, and better grappling stats. And he's outstruck his bonus by 1.05 strikes per minute in the UFC. He's at minus 181. Now it's you.
All right. So give me those numbers again.
For minus 181 for minus 294 for Blackshear, plus 280. I think I misspoke.
Yeah, you did. You said negative 181 for
I gave you
Grant.
Ribas' number.
Yeah, I was like, there ain't no way. I like tuned out for Blackshear, and I was like, there ain't no way Davey Grant is minus 181 in this fight.
Plus 280.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll the dice on Davey Grant here too.
Okay.
And I know I'm compiling some underdogs early, but hear me out on this one. I think the reach is a lot for Damon Blackshear to deal with. And if you've looked at what Davey Grant has been able to do recently against like high level strikers, like really high level strikers, right? Like he hung in there with Adrian Yanez. He arguably beat Daniel Marcos. Like I know Daniel Marcos is still undefeated, but like it probably shouldn't be, right? Like he probably lost that fight pretty easily to Davey Grant. And I don't know. I don't have the MMA decision numbers in front of me, but I'd be shocked if more than 3 media members scored that fight for Daniel Marcos. And so like, and then he went in there with Ramon Tavares, who's like a noted good boxer, and beat the hell out of him. So like, first of all, I love that from Davey Grant is that like he's going in and out boxing boxers because of his length, because of his like newfound old man power, which is like occasionally knocking people's blocks off as well. And then you got Blackshear, who like, yes, I get it. His wrestling is really good, and he's been like a top-notch grappler. And people always talk about how underrated his grappling is. He didn't shoot any takedowns his last fight, and damn near lost the fight because he was trying to bang it out with Keelan Aori, right? And like Aori is not as good of a striker as Davey Grant, and like I don't know, why didn't he want to go to the ground with Aori? Like, did he think Aori was going to sub him? Like, what was the thought process there? Might he do it more here? Maybe, but I don't really want to be behind him at 3-1 money if he's not going to shoot a takedown and going to clearly get beat on the feet. And not to mention too, like I know people have said Davey Grant, he gets subbed all the time. He's been subbed 4 times in his life. He has been subbed 4 times in his life, but not in 7 years. It's been 7 years since this guy got submitted. So like, since he stopped like diving for takedowns, he doesn't need to on guys like Chris Holdsworth, which by the way, what happened to Chris Holdsworth? Like
I don't have an answer, sir.
Yeah, since he stopped doing that, like his submission defense is held up. So like I think he gets enough time on the feet here to beat up Blackshear and possibly even tire him out.
Can you believe that you nailed it? 2 media members, exactly 2. Pick Marcos.
I said less than 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I guess which ones? Is it? It's one of them from Sherdog.
Probably. Now I have to open up the window again.
So my guesses are going to be Sherdog. And if it's not Sherdog, it'll be either MMA Mania or Dan Levy, who's a gambler who has his stuff in there. But like his scorecards are notoriously bad.
Dan Levy, yep.
Dan
Levy. And Danny Segura, surprisingly, MMA junkie.
That's surprising because he's usually pretty good. Sherdog guys, though. Okay.
Nope,
well, at least I hit 1 out of the 3.
Yeah. I'm taking Blackshear. I'm a Blackshear stan. Yeah. 9 years younger. That's huge for a weight class as small. He is longer. You mentioned reach. He's got 3 inches of reach. I don't want him using it though. I'm counting on him leaning back into his grappling, which is what has gotten him this far. So, but like you said, do you really want to gamble 3 times, like almost minus 300 on hoping a guy's going to use his fight IQ when fighters don't use their fight IQ? Anyhow, I think Blackshear is going to win, and I hope he does grapple. If he doesn't grapple, he's not going to win. I guess it comes down to that pretty much. All right. Disagreement again. One thing we do agree on, though, is MyBookie.ag. We are brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and, of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy to deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out all the lines that we're talking about right now over at MyBookie.ag. And when you do head to MyBookie.ag, sign up with our promo code MMA SGPN. That way you get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code MMA SGPN. And you've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends, essentially the best of the best what their house model has to offer. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. And here's some more numbers for you. MLB Power Trends are 254 on 147, which is a win rate of 63% and an ROI of 4.5% in their past 400 bets. And WNBA Power Trends are 35 and 20 since launch, 63.64% win rate, 20.7% ROI. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. You stumble across anything since we talked last on Power Trends, Gumby?
Yeah, well, I think I talked about it on yesterday's show or 2 shows ago about how just damn good Charlie Morton has been.
Right.
He popped up there again. Maybe that'll be my underdog play for Thursday. But like he popped up there again because look, he's got, what was it, like 35 strikeouts in his last 6 starts, which is a pretty crazy number for a dude at his age. And let's keep riding that momentum while we still got it.
Definitely. So check it out for yourself. You can get a 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, 2 more fights left on the prelims. Pretty solid prelims. A lot of good fighters on here. Was this one hard for you at all, Gumby? It was hard for me, based on the line.
It was at first, and then I went back and I watched some fights, and then it was less hard for me.
All right, Muslim Salikhov, Russia, Carlos Leal, Miranda, if you want. I don't think he goes by that anymore, but Carlos Leal from Brazil, 170 pounds. Tell you about the king of Kung Fu first, Salikhov, 21-5, 14 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted twice, 8-4 in the UFC. He's won 2 straight and 3 of 6. He won his last fight via knockout. He's fight at 185, 13-1 as a pro kickboxer and a champion there. A gold medalist in the Olympics in Sonda. It was a demonstration sport, but a gold medal nonetheless. Better grappling stats than Miranda. He's outstruck his opponents by 0.48 strikes per minute in the UFC, plus 380. The Lion, Leal Miranda, is 22-6, 11 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been submitted once. 1-1 in the UFC. He's won 3 of 4 and 5 of 8. TKO win in his last bout. 5-2 in PFL, 1-0 in Bellator, RIP. He's missed weight twice at 170. He's regional champ. He's fight at 145 and 155, 2012 pro MMA debut. 1-0 as a pro boxer. 4 inches reach over at Salikhov, 10 years younger, 3 times more active lightning strikes. He's outstruck his opponents in the UFC by 1.92 strikes per minute. He's at minus 435. I really want to take Salikhov here. Maybe because I wrote him off before and he's won 2 straight, but
the 2 straight haven't been good, right? Like that fight with Ponzinibbio kind of sucked. Yeah. And like Ponzinibbio took him down twice. And like
and he's old too himself. So yeah. So I ended up siding with Leal. The age gap and he's bigger. And it's got a Salikhov is, I think he's on borrowed time at this point. And Leal didn't start off in the UFC so hot.
He did though. He won that fight with Rinat Fakhretdinov. That's another one that I bet if you pull up MMA decisions. Like I remember being on the Fakhretdinov side. In fact, he was my lock that week on this show. I vividly remember that.
That's why you remember.
And it went to the judges' scorecards, and I was like, "Damn!" I dropped my lock in the first fight of the night, and then they read off the scorecards and gave it a Fakhretdinov, and I was like, "Well, the MMA gods give it, and they take it away because there was no way he beat Leal in that fight." And in fact, Leal even took Fakhretdinov down.
No one picked Fakhretdinov in that fight. Media members all picked Leal. Most of them picked him 30-27.
30-27. Yeah. Yeah, like I think there was one round you could maybe give Fakhretdinov, but he did like no damage with like 2 takedowns. And then the rest of them, he failed on takedowns and got absolutely lit up. I have no idea what the judges were doing on that one. So like, again, Leal looked deadly there. And for me, if you're looking for a reason why to get behind Leal, it's the output. He landed over 100 strikes on Fakhretdinov despite Fakhretdinov stalling for large portions of that fight. He landed 79 strikes on Alex Morono in their last fight. That fight took 4 minutes. He landed 79 strikes in 4 minutes, which is like, dude, that is next level output right there. And like, can Salikhov keep up with that for 15 minutes without tiring out?
Yeah.
Not at 41, I don't think.
Wouldn't think so.
Yeah, and then like Leal's never been knocked out, and he's fought some pretty deadly guys over in PFL and stuff like that. So if he's never been knocked out, King of Kung Fu is not really winning any other way than that right now, especially if he's going to be the one with less output.
And not with a nose like his either. It doesn't look like he could breathe through that nose. So yeah, I don't think he's going to last at this pace. So I think it may have been broken a couple times. We're to the main event of the prelims. Bantamweight, Bryce Mitchell is down at bantamweight. He's still from the United States. Gumby, he's still from your country. Syed Nurmagomedov, he's from Russia. Let's break her down, shall we? We'll tell you about Nurmagomedov first. This is the non-related Nurmagomedov. Excuse me, the non-famous one. He's 18-4, 4 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight, so he's durable at the very least. 7-3 in the UFC, loss over his last 3, 5-2 over his last 7. He's fought at flyweight and featherweight. Regional champ, 2009 pro MMA debut. More active landing strikes than Mitchell. He's outstruck his opponents in the UFC by 1.13 strikes per minute. He's at plus 120. Thug Nasty, 17-3. 1 knockout, 9 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted twice. That's not durable. 8-3 in the UFC. Loss, win, loss. He got submitted in his last bout. He's fought at 145, predominantly fought at 145. 1-1 in the Ultimate Fighter. He's a regional champ. He went 2-0 in World Series of Fighting. RIP, I guess, technically. 2015 pro MMA debut. 2 inches of height over Nurmagomedov, 2 years younger. Better striking stats, which you don't hear often from Mitchell. Better grappling stats. He's outstruck his opponents by 0.8 strikes per minute. He's at minus 125. Finishes off, Gumby.
Yeah, this is another one of those fights where I'm like, do we really know where this guy's at, right? Because Bryce Mitchell's looked so terrible in some of his recent fights. But granted, it was to Gian Silva, right? Like Gian Silva, decimated him. There's kind of not a surprise there, right?
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, too, like now he's changing weight classes. Is that a good thing for him? Is it a bad thing for him? I'm going to go with Bryce Mitchell here. Despite there being some question marks, like Syed Nurmagomedov doesn't have the wrestling I think needed in order to stay off the ground with Bryce Mitchell. And the bottom line is that, like, yes, Bryce Mitchell has been submitted twice, but like he has been up against like elite level competition, and he is still a very good grappler, like a way above average in terms of grappling. And like we saw Syed Nurmagomedov get taken down 3 times by Lockdog, and like I love Lockdog, but like maybe his wrestling isn't like the tippity top of his skill set, right? Like his skill set is insane cardio that nobody will ever match for some reason and crazy pace. But like Bryce Mitchell should be able to just get him to the mat at least twice. And like really when people get taken down by Bryce Mitchell, they don't really ever get up, right? Like he's just like on you like glue till the end of the round. And so like he's probably got to hit 2 takedowns to win this fight. Yeah, I'll take Bryce Mitchell there. And hey, he could submit him too. So give me some Mitchell probably on the sub line.
Yep, I'll take Mitchell here as well. Basically doubling up on everything Gummy said. He's going to be the better grappler here. He's aggressive too, but he's not just take you down and not do much. He's aggressively looking for finishes. So I like that sub line as well. All right, let's give you a recap and then we'll get out of your hair. We both have Mitchell. One of the rare things we both have Leal Miranda too. So, and then we start to differ. He's got Grant. I have Blackshear. I have Ribas. He has Ricci. It should be Hichi. Why is it not Hichi?
I think maybe an American father. No, it's her father's Brazilian. Sorry, that's wrong.
Weird,
He's the judo expert.
Should it be Hichi?
I don't. Should it be?
Ask
Hichi?
her. You haven't had her on for a while. Ask her next time she's on your show. Say, should it be Hichi? And see if she knows what you're talking about. I have Aslan. He has Elekana. I have Yahya. He has Nguyen. There you go. I did it right. We both have Buchecha. There you go. We started and ended in agreement. In between, got a little rocky. If you want to talk more about any MMA stuff, you can hit us up in the Discord. How's that for an advertisement? sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. YouTube in the comments, obviously, MMA Gambling Podcast. We're on the old Twitter, SGPN MMA. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram. Enter my free UFC pick'em contest and check out all my MMA writing at moneymma.substack.com. Gumby has another podcast called Top Turtle. I haven't listened yet this week. Maybe it hasn't dropped. Who's on this week, Gumby?
We got Damian Panache, also known as Baba Yaga, who's going to be fighting on the first episode of Contender Series. And then we're also talking to Gabby McComb, who is fighting this weekend at LFA 213.
All right, so check it out. It should be a good episode as per usual. And of course, we are at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon for some bonus content. Back tomorrow with King Kung Fu, Jeff Fox, the last Ottoman. Gumby Vreeland. We'll talk to you then.